Hey guys, when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends my age. I really struggled connecting with other people. When I got to college, I almost failed and thought about dropping out. I ended up struggling quite a bit. But even though I went through a lot of difficult things, I always knew that I could keep going. I always knew that there was something inside me that was going to help me. Because when I was very young, I met someone who told me that they believed in me. They said that I was special and that what I did for the world was I made the world special by being who I am. That's what you do for your clients. That's what you do for your audiences. And the way that you do that is with your stories. Stories are such a powerful way to get people's attention and to attract the right people. And they're super powerful because stories are something people remember and can reshare for you. So they can actually go and market who you are and what your business is and share the values that you have with other people who then may want to work with you. Um, the gentleman who told me that I could make an impact, changed my life. And even though he completely transformed who I was, he never met me. Uh, the guy I'm referring to is Mr. Rogers. He had a tremendous impact on myself and millions of other children because he had a beautiful way of telling stories that kids could understand. And his entire message was, "You're special. I like you just the way you are." And if you can create that feeling for your clients, if you can help people feel that you care about them, that is what people will resonate with. But just having a great story will not get you clients. You also have to have a story exchange rate that is very valuable. Now, when we go to another country, we take our money, we exchange it for the currency that belongs in that country. And depending on what the exchange rate is, determines how much you're going to get back in for the money that you put in. So stories are the same way. You could tell a story that just has some entertainment value and you may get attention in return. Or you might tell a story that's valuable enough that somebody's like, how can I work with you? I would like to pay you money to get your care, your attention, and your expertise. So you have to have a story that has the elements in it built into it that will make that story a high exchange value in the process of telling that story. Now, all of these stories that we're going to be sharing, we want people to be taking action. We want them to either participate in our business communities, we want them to reach out and find out how they can work with us, or we may just want them to become a little bit better version of themselves by hearing the story that we have to share with them. So just to give you an example, Leslie shared a great story about how she helps families who have dogs with a purpose. Not just any dogs, but dogs who go to shows, dogs who have working responsibilities. She's an expert at helping purebred dogs become winners and become dogs that are um, fulfilling their life purpose. David Caspar shared an awesome story about the importance of where your mind is at and the tools that you use to think about your life makes the difference between having a life that you are trying to escape and wishing that things were different, or enjoying the life that you have and creating the outcomes that you want to see. And he shared his own story of being frustrated in his job and shifting the way that he thought to being able to enjoy the work that he was doing and even becoming published in many notable journals, which is not an easy thing to do in his profession. Um, Ron shared some fantastic stories about the ability to overcome chronic pain and the things that he learned in that process and the way that he's able to share what he knows about dealing with pain management. These are all important stories that I've only heard once, and I repeat them, I remember them because they include an emotional hook. They include a big idea. They include the thing that we have to do in order to get a transformation. And so if you can share a great story with your audience, people will remember you. People will remember the story. People will share the story. And the right people who want to work with you will become attracted to you. Some of my best clients have gone from audiences of 400 to well over 4 million. I am an expert at getting great stories in front of millions of people. I've done it over and over and over again as I've worked in broadcast, producing television, making feature films. I've had a very privileged position to be able to get stories out in front of lots and lots of people. And if that's something you want to do eventually, if you get to the place in your life where you want your story out in front of millions of people, there may be a way that we can do that. But what I want you to work on right now is you've got to have feedback on your story. Our stories are not for us. They're not for us to share who we are in a way that we like to hear it. It's for us to share so that an audience can understand something about how we can help them and how we can support them and love them. And so if you don't ask for feedback from the people that you are trying to get to take action, you're only shaping a story for you. And so what we want you to do is we want you to write your story or do a live, share your story verbally, drop it in this group, and then ask for feedback. That's how we're going to help refine the stories. And what we want you to have in your stories, we want the feeling, we want the emotional connection of the values that you have, why you're trying to help people. We want the big idea. We want what is it that we're becoming? Who is it that we're trying to move towards? And it needs to have a great story exchange rate. You need to show the value of what it looks like when the best people come forward and say, I want to work with you. And then you need to give them an action step. What is it that you want them to do in order to work with you or in order to make a little bit of a change in their life? What are some of those things that they need to do? So for you, the story that I'm telling you right now, which is we're going to shape and refine stories that will help you get clients. What I'm asking you to do is think about your story. We've already done some homework on your stories. So share the story that demonstrates what you do for clients, the way that you help and show up for people, and then drop it into the group and ask us for some feedback, and we will start refining from there. Love you guys, and we'll see you and start working on these stories.